Hey YouTube, Orlando here, and today I'm going to make a video changing the oil on one of my 2012 Ford Escapes. This is the same body style and engine from 2008 to 2012. They come in 4-cylinder and 6-cylinders. This is the 6-cylinder. Okay, you're going to need obviously the filter, the oil, a catch can, something to take the filter out. Like I have these two tools, some sockets to take the drain plug out. I like to have some extra towels just in case I get oil all over the place. I have a creeper. You don't need the creeper. I got the gloves. You don't need the gloves. I got these little things for my knees because I'm old. You don't need none of that stuff. Okay, I use ramps, but you could use a floor jack, any floor jack. I also put my floor jack in there just to be triple secure. If you do use a floor jack and you don't use ramps, I do highly recommend you use some jacks. Put some jacks on it. Make sure you got the emergency brake on, you got it in park, that's not gonna roll nowhere. This is probably, I don't know, 20 bucks or something. Mine's super old, so I don't know what they're worth now. I buy this at Walmart. This is the full synthetic one, the ultra synthetic one. It's $10 and something. I like to use the best ones. It gives me peace of mind because I change these cars. I rent them on Turo and I change them every 8 to 10,000 miles. So I like to have good oil and good filters on them. Gives me a little peace of mind. The oil is supposed to be 5W20. It's what the car calls for. I use 5W20 or 5W30. My cars are very high miles. This one has 138 or 140. This one has 162 or something. So I'm crazy, and I think that, you know, the clearances are probably, with the wear and tear, the clearances are probably a little bit larger than they were when this car was built. So I don't mind having a slightly thicker oil. But don't take my advice on this. Just use whatever the car asks for, okay? Okay, I like to take this cap off. I don't know if it really makes a difference or not, but I like to take it off because I figure it helps the oil when I drain it, so it could breathe through here. Okay guys, here underneath the car is your oil pan right here. As you can see, mine is wet. It has probably has oil gasket leak here on the oil pan. My other one does too. That one over there, I don't know if you can see, it has a little oil stain on the bottom. It's very minor. I'll get a few drops every once in a while, like it is now. Haven't cleaned it or anything. I don't really worry about it too much. Apparently it's a flaw, and to change this gasket is a bear. So I'm not, and it seems like they all do it. So like I said, I've had these cars for probably, that one for probably 50, 60,000 miles, and this one for probably 20,000 miles. And they've always had that. And I'm never, I check the oil levels. I change every 8 to 10,000, and I'm always full. So it's not, it seems bad, but it's not. Okay, so now we are going to use these rags. Clean this up a little bit. Okay, just to work a little cleaner here. Then we're going to get the socket that we need. Yep. Okay. Yeah, so you can use the 15 in metric. You ratchet, and there you go. Okay, let me go grab the catch can so I don't make a mess here. Okay. Hopefully we won't make too big of a mess here. There you go. That's when these little gloves come in handy. You don't need them, but it's good to they're good to have. Okay, so here you have this little crush washer here. I don't know if you can see it right here. You could take it out and get a new one, or if it's in decent shape, you could leave it. I have crush washers but to be somewhere in my tools, but to be honest with you, I don't know where they are, and I'm going to put this one right back on. Okay. That's why I like to have these little papers, these little paper towels, in case I make any mess. It's always good to have. Okay. Once we drain it, almost all, I'm going to come here to the oil filter. Okay, guys. So now this is your oil pan. Towards the front of the car is going to be your filter right here, right next to the manifold and the catalytic converter here. So be sure to position your oil catch can here. You can't see it right now in the video, but it's right here. And to position it, because sometimes it'll drip over here, splash a little bit all over the place. So try to position it to where you think it'll make less of a mess. And here we go. Let's use this crappy tool that I bought at Walmart. See how it doesn't stay? I hate it. I hate this tool. But hey, it works. Maybe one day I'll get a better one. But for now, this is all I got. Okay. I kind of smashed it a little bit. I don't know if you can see it, but it doesn't matter because this is coming out one way or the other. Yeah, it's pretty tight. Okay. In the old days, if I couldn't get it out, I'd stick a screwdriver right through it. I'd hammer it right through it, a long screwdriver, and tear it up and force it out. It doesn't matter at the end of the day because you're putting a new one in. Okay, so it's pretty loose now. Let me see if I can hand loosen it. Yep, pretty tight. Okay, here we go. Let's try not to make too much of a mess here. Take this guy out. Okay, once you have it out, make sure that this gasket is on the filter. Okay, you don't want to, and it's happened to me before, you don't want this gasket staying stuck on top of the in the engine, and then when you put your other filter on, you basically double gasket it, and that will cause a gigantic leak. So you don't want that. So make sure the gasket's out. Make sure that the gasket is not stuck up there, see? So you're good. Okay. And that's it. Once it's out, grab your other filter. And just screw it on. I like to put a teeny bit of old oil around the gasket, just a little bit, so it seals really nice, and when it spins, it doesn't stick. And then go ahead and screw it on. See? Okay, with a filter, you just hand tighten it. You never tighten it with a tool or anything. You just hand tighten it. Make sure it's pretty firm. There you go. And that's about it. Clean this up a little bit, make it look nice. Then we're going to go back over here, put the plug back on, the drain plug back on. Okay. You're going to torque it. I don't know how many pound-feet of torque it's supposed to have. Done this a million times. I hand tighten it until it won't go no more, and then I give it a little extra just a little extra oomph. So once I'm there, see, it won't go no more. I'll just do a teeny bit more right there, and that's about it. See, never go too hard on this drain plug here, because you will strip the thread, and then you got a real big nightmare on your hands. Tighten it all the way, and once it gets to the end, I always give it like, I don't know, a 16th or an 1/8 of a turn. Okay, then we go up to the top, put the oil in, and we're gonna be done. Okay guys, so now you're basically done on the bottom. There's nothing to do on the bottom. If you're on ramps, do not turn on your car and get off the ramps. Don't turn on your car for anything, obviously, until I guess it's supposed to be obvious, but just in case, you never know. Until you put some oil in the engine. You don't want to turn on that car with no oil in the engine, okay? Okay, so you can put all this stuff away except this, because we're going to pour the old oil. I like to use, you can do it however you want, but I like to pour the old oil in the jug. Once I empty it, it's full still, but once I empty it, I'll put it in the old jug, and then I'll put it with all my old oils over there. Or if you don't have a whole bunch of old oils, it doesn't matter. You can take this to any auto parts store, O'Reilly's, Advanced Auto, all these places, they recycle oil for free. You could just put it back in here, clean it up real nice, make sure there's no oil, put it in the back of your car, and take it to O'Reilly's, and they'll recycle it for free for you. Okay, and all this other stuff, you can just put it away. I'll put it away in a minute. And that's it. So now let's pour some oil in there. Okay guys, let's pour the oil in here. This car takes, you need a funnel, or you can use whatever. You don't need a funnel, but it's better, way better, so you don't make a mess. You can use some cardboard, or you can use whatever. But anyway, this car is supposed to take 6 quarts. I never do it that way. I pour in less than what the car requires. Usually on any car I do. If it says 6, I'll pour in about 5. Then I'll take the car off the ramps, make sure the car is level. Then I'll measure it, and then I'll pour little by little. I'm going to pour these whole 5 because I know it's 6, so I know I'm going to be short. And then I'll just measure it and pour a little more, measure it, pour a little more, and make sure that I get to exactly where it's between the low and high levels. Okay guys, I took the car off the ramps. Obviously it had oil in it. It had 5 quarts in it before I took it off the ramps. I put everything away except this, and that's it. Now I'm going to check the oil level. Oh, a good thing about when you move the car, before you check the oil level, at least putting some oil in it and then running it, is when you take the filter out, there's no oil. There's no oil in that area. So if you measure it without starting the car, you'll be off a little bit. It'll show it's a little higher than it usually is. Then when you start it, it'll run oil through the filter area, that whole area, and it'll go down slightly. So it's always good to run it a little bit with oil in it, and then measure it again, and then top it off to where it should be. Okay, here's the dipstick right there. That's the tranny dipstick, but we're not going to mess with that. I already topped it off. I covered it right here. I'm probably going to open it because we're going to add some more, and we're going to measure. Okay guys, hope you can see down here. We're going to check the oil real quick. We want the oil between the low and the high. These 2 dots are low and high. That's how this dipstick is. Okay, so let's take it out, clean it, put it back in. Take it back out again, take a look. We are at the, it's kind of smeared over the top, but we're at the low level mark right there. So we're going to put some more oil in it, and we're going to try this again. It's about almost a quart, maybe a little over half a quart. Give it like, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds for the oil to go down and settle. And then we're going to try this again. Okay, see where we are. Okay, we're a little higher now. We're about halfway. We're almost halfway. So we're going to do a tiny bit more. Okay. It's good. I like to put it in the middle, a little bit towards the high side. Okay, there we go. We should be about 6 quarts now. Maybe a little more than 6 quarts, actually. Okay, let's check this out again. There we are. We're almost all the way up. Slightly under the high dot. I don't know if you can see it right there. But anyway, when it's clean oil, it's kind of harder to see. When it's dirty, it's easy. So that's it. We are good to go. Oil is changed. Now all I gotta do is pour that oil, which I'm not gonna show you guys in the video, in this, I'll just pour the oil in the old jug. I like to use my old filter box to put my old filter in there. And I'll just throw it away. And that's it. Hope you guys like this video. Save you guys some money. All in all, I mean, besides the tools, if you have the tools, which you buy once, besides that, all in all, I have $29, less than $30 in this, and I got full synthetic oil. When you do the job yourself, you're sure that you tightened up the bolt correctly on the bottom. I've heard horror stories where people go to Quick Lube and then they don't tighten it, and then the oil comes out and the engine blows. All sorts of horror stories. You make sure you topped it off, you turned it on, you got oil in the filter area, you checked it again, etc., and double check everything. Make sure you did a good job. $30, you got a full synthetic oil change, 10,000 miles. You don't have to do it again. Plus, it's a good thing to do. It's a good thing to know how to do, so you don't have to depend on anybody. Hope this helped. Take care, everybody. See you guys on the next one.